Yeah. So you kind of finally start delegating. You go full time in the business. And I mean, before I even get into like what that was like, I mean, just go into your thought process for how you finally jumped ship from your job. Because I think a lot of people listening are maybe at that point, right? They've maybe had some success, but they're like, dude, I can't give up a 6-figure, career. I've worked hard for this.
Yeah, that was a tough choice. And it's so multifaceted on the reason why I made it. One that I was just talking to one of your guys actually about is like, if I'm not doing a job to the best of my abilities, it really, really bothers me. And so we're in a meeting one day and then they're just like talking about it and they're like, dude, hey, there's only one person that didn't make all their calls. And it was me. And I'm like, dude, that's never me. Because like I was, always salesperson of the month. And that was not because I was the best salesperson, but because I outperformed everybody. I was just the hardest worker. I made the most phone calls. And then I couldn't even make the phone calls because I'm running to appointments and stuff on the side. So that was a major deciding factor. The other one was I also had to leave to go to the bank to sign some refinances. And I felt like I was like leaving the dealership. Even though I sold enough cars, I made my own schedule. It still felt weird, like I shouldn't be doing it. And I'm like, this is annoying. I'm going to make more money from my future. And now I feel
guilty
weird.
about it.
Yeah, I felt guilty. And then the last thing was just my ability. I believed in my abilities enough to know that if I didn't make money for a long time, I can move money around like no other in order to make this work. Like I'm pretty strategic with moving money with like credit cards or like lines of credit, like all of this different stuff. I just knew I could survive with no income for a while just because of like my trust in myself and my ability to make money and then move it around. And so that kind of convinced me, all those things of like, all right, dude, this is going to be good. And I know I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So you jump ship, start, hiring people and figuring out like how to go about this business full time. You start actually flipping and wholesaling and everything else. And so like, what were the next couple of years like?
They went fast. They went really fast. So as soon as we hired, then we just started like, I think we were averaging somewhere around like 3 to 5 deals a month. As soon as we brought him on, because I told him, I'm basically like, dude, if you don't get 3 deals in a month, then we don't need you. We don't want you to work with us at all. And so he took that really seriously. I think he got like 3 in the first couple weeks. And so it just started taking off from there. And then we started building out the transaction coordination, basically the back end, which it took a lot of work just because flipping is a lot of processes and systems in order to build in the back end. And you convinced us to keep flipping instead of going more wholesaling at that point because properties were getting bid up like crazy.
Yeah, the market was different.
Yeah, the market was so different back then. And so we think we're going to make 30. We ended up making 50.
Yeah.
And it kept happening. And so then we just kept building the back end. And Andrew and I were both basically running the sales. So I was running sales along with him the whole time. And so we were probably like doing, probably 75-25. He was doing 75%. I was doing 25% of the deals. And then after we decided to bring in a second acquisitions guy, that was when it started changing a lot because then just deals started ramping up. He was more of like a bigger spread kind of guy. And then I was like, all right, dude, we got to build an actual business here. So
yeah,
it just happened. It happened so fast. And honestly, it's kind of hard to remember exactly how each one happened because basically what happens is I'm looking at the business and then I see a need and then I'm like, dude, I can't keep doing this. And so then we bring somebody in and then fills that need. And then I'm like, and then I come shadow your people and I'm like, okay, what do you guys do? How much do you get paid? And then bring them in and then set it up similar structure to where it's usually 100% commission or it's paid based on performance once the property sells.
Yep.
And so then it doesn't actually cost anything. It is giving me more time. And so then I just kept doing that. And yeah, now we're at 15 people and